Hello there survivors and welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. Today we're taking a look at Helms Deep on Valguero. If you don't know, this is one of the pre-existing ruins on the map, and of course they are very recognizable as the Helms Deep castle from the Lord of the Rings movies. And me and my tribe on my community servers have decided to go and live here and build our tribe base. So it's just been the first few days obviously, and we have made quite a bit of progress so far, and I really wanted to show you what we've been up to because I've really been enjoying playing on Valguero again, rebuilding this castle ruin together with my tribe and the Rowan builds in general. You might have already seen I did a starter base tutorial, but I've been doing more builds here and I really wanted to share that with you. If there is anything tutorial wise you'd like to see in this kind of style, it's kind of like Rohan or Viking style obviously, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely be doing some more builds in them. We're mostly using the Viking Builder's custom cosmetic for this one. So yeah, we're right here on the map. As you can see, this is the big runway up to the castle, and if you don't know, it's located right here on the map. So it's right on the edge of the redwoods and the taiga biome, and it is an absolutely beautiful castle. I don't really fly because I don't use flyers yet. I'm mostly using my trusty Cosmo here, and we can get them now because there is a Cosmo spawning in the aberration area here on Valguero, and I'm using the Deinonychus, trying to get the hang of the climbing. Can't say it's going smoothly, but slowly getting better at it. And I've also been busy building here. Right here we can see the front gate of the castle, which is actually more inspired by the gateway we see to Edoras in the Lord of the Rings. But, you know, it's also Rohan, and I thought it would be a fitting build and quite like the way that it turned out. As you can see, we didn't need to do much to secure this. Kind of just needed to use one of these behemoth cellar doors, and then of course as a barn door, so we have a nice big entrance. And then we have our beautiful little gatehouse on the top. We'll get there in a little bit. But first, of course, let's enter the castle. Let's make sure to close this again. Then we can instantly see a cozy little house. This is actually my house. I just worked on this last night. It's definitely not finished yet. Need to do a lot more detailing, but I quite like the look of it. Is very similar to the starter house tutorial that I did, but slightly bigger version and with a side entrance here too, using some statues from the Viking Builder skin again. Yeah, quite happy with the way that this turned out, and it instantly fills up this street a little bit, making it feel more like there's actually people living in this castle. And I'm happiest with this view of the build because you can see I've got a little courtyard going on. I will be detailing this and adding a much more life to the place. We'll see that later, I suppose, when I make another video showcasing what we've been up to. But got some of my Deinonychus here, and then one is the normal one, the other one is the S variant with the S Dino mod. But you can see I made a small little stables here right next to me. It's actually not aligned on the same snap point foundations. These are different foundations, slightly lower as well and on an angle, just to make it a little bit more dynamic. But I do quite like the look of this simple little stable for my tames. And then of course I've got my house itself. It's very empty still. I have just finished building this last night and I haven't really done any of the interior except then placing a bed down for myself. But I'll definitely be decorating this, bringing this to life and making my lovely little house on the server, yeah, so that I can live out my days here because I quite like the style, I quite like the location, and I quite like this map. And if you're wondering, yes, this is all on my community servers, meaning you too could play here. If you join my Discord, you can find all the information to play on my servers. They're free to join for anyone. And we have a lovely community playing, surviving, doing boss fights together, and of course, building cool bases. But there's definitely more because my tribe mates have also been busy. Up the road, we have the Chicken Man himself, building his little abode. He was just starting this last night when I logged off, so I don't know how far he got, but you can see he's also getting started with the Viking skins, and it looks like he's still in production of his house. Then right out here we have Ellie that's been working on a little greenhouse. so that we can grow all our crops, and that is looking very, very cool. Again, using a lot of the Viking Builder's cosmetics, including for this water tank, which turns it into a cozy little well. Also, I just really love this area in general. We've got the water, we have the second part of the castle basically here, which is very lovely to look at. And then we have a very nice little greenhouse in here with a bunch of room for crops to grow. And then we'll have a little garden here at the back. I think this is going to be, which will be amazing. Can't wait to see this all finished, but it's really nice already to see this all come together and starting to be transformed into some really cozy feeling and looking builds. And yeah, it's going to be quite awesome. But then of course we've got more castle to discover. First of all, we probably want to go and check out the Gatehouse before we head in closer to the main castle and to the inner circles. So yeah, along the battlements we're planting some defenses. We haven't planted the plants yet, but Chicken has added the turrets to all of these so that we'll have some proper defenses. And this here is the gatehouse coming up. So it's built on top of the existing ruins just to give it a little bit more charm. You can easily walk into them right here. And then you can see there's quite a decent amount of space up here. I use these statues of the Viking Builders cosmetic on the deco boxes on the corners to add a little bit more shape to it. And then we have the building here in the middle. So if we quickly go into photo mode, we can look at it a little bit better here. And you can see the little design rested on top of the gate. I really like the way that this turned out. I think it adds some nice contrast to these stony ruins, and it adds a lot of character, and especially these statues on the corners make the build a lot more dynamic. And of course, all the decoration options from the flags and the shields that you can add with the Viking Builders cosmetics on the deco boxes and the trophies is just really, really nice. We got some of these bones on top. We got a similar tower on the other side, then this little connecting thing with the roof, and then pretty much the same thing here on the back, just really giving a nice gatehouse feeling to the place. And then you've also probably noticed by now we have a tribe tower. Currently it's using the Castlecraft skin on it, but we will be changing that as soon as we have a Viking Builders tribe tower. I think it's already been teased, so we can't wait for that being released, and that's going to definitely help us stick to the vibe. So going into the inner ring of the castle, you already see some really cool statues there for the main keep, but then of course also here the tribe tower that we've built. I'm not quite sure what to do with the area surrounding the tribe tower necessarily. Don't know if we need necessarily a need for you know, building something here. We'll see. We're trying not to go too crazy with building so that the console players in our tribe can hopefully keep visiting the base without issues. It's also why we chose to rebuild the ruins, so we can keep the structure count lower, a little bit easier, because a lot of the things are already pre-built. We have pre-built defenses pretty much, so yeah, we don't need to do as much building to have a very nice and safe base for a well, not the biggest tribe, but a slightly bigger tribe. We got some breeding going on here in the courtyards as well. As you can see, currently we'll probably move the breeding out to the side part of the castle eventually, once the defenses are set up and everything. But right now we're doing a little bit of breeding here. Mostly I've got my Deinonychus here, trying to hopefully get some slightly better stats together, and of course get the imprint done. But then the chicken has also made a lovely entrance to the actual castle, as you can see, using mostly the Viking Builder skins and all the decor options it has to offer, but also a little bit of JVH landscaping with a hidden glass ceiling with ASR to make that big Rex skull float in the air, which looks really, really cool. And yeah, kind of just rebuilding this whole existing structure into a strong gateway that we can utilize. There's actually a behemoth gate right behind the wall he built, so that we still have the gate in it, but we could do a little bit more with the shape of the whole build. And then of course you can go through the gate, but we also have some doors here to the sides to easily enter the main base itself. And this is our main crafting and storage hall For the moment, most of our storage and crafting has been taking place down here at the side. But eventually, of course, now that we've laid down all the foundations, we're going to set all the crafting up here in the middle. And then we'll have the storage to the side so that we can, yeah, hopefully have everything here. But as you can see, there's quite a lot of room here to utilize. We have 2 industrial forges here taking up no space at all. This is actually the grinder with the Viking skin. Looks quite cool too. Got a little to-do list of things that we need to do. And then this is our temporary logout spot until everyone has had the time to build a little house for their own. And then we'll also have the dungeons all the way at the back. This is where we're going to banish all the stuff that doesn't fit the vibe. So mostly some of the more modern looking crafting stations from like AA. And probably I heard some people that wanted to be cruel and have a bio grinder down here too. So that will be the dungeon so that I don't have to see all those things going on. But as you can see, it's rather a big space. Definitely plenty of room here for a tribe like us to do all of the shared storage and crafting without needing to build too much, because most of this is pre-built. We just laid down a bunch of foundations using the castle craft skin on this, I think, to get like the floor pattern going on. And yeah, that is pretty big already, and probably all the space we'll ever need for all our crafting needs, so we don't have to worry about that at all. But yeah, that is currently the castle that we've got going on. The Helms Deep is coming back to life. I just really wanted to share the progress that we have so far, and I'll probably be making a few more videos, especially once I finish detailing my little house, and there's probably going to be a few more builds that we'll do here before the whole thing is complete. Yeah, just wanted to share the process, maybe give you some inspiration if you're trying to move into one of these pre-existing structures that are already on the map, and some ideas of what you could add to it to make it still your own and make it come to life. Yeah, and make one of these awesome ruins or awesome castles into a place of yourself. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you again in the next video or the next stream. For now, goodbye.